Hey guys, it's Josh. A quick video on an 8.1 feature that you may not know about that I think is pretty cool. I think that potentially our development team is going to add some functionality to, and this is just my own thoughts. I obviously don't speak for the company, but I'm just looking at it. I think there's some potential use cases here with this new feature. So what it is if you look here in the release notes, added the ability to identify users from Wi-Fi logins. Interesting. So what does that really mean? Let me walk you through it very high level. So essentially what happens is if you have it doesn't have to be Meraki, but any wireless system and you've got laptops, devices authenticating to it, typically it's going to go back and authenticate to a Radius server. Not always, but a lot of systems are set up this way. When it does that, if you have AAA accounting set up to go back, which is a setting within your wireless system, AAA accounting data, we can parse that. So we can parse that in real time and extract the user data out of that for you. So then we can associate users with on this laptop, say Jay Snow on this or this phone. And so you can extract those individual users from devices, even though we're not spanned or tapped in this area, or just spanned or tapped in here, which is typical of an ExtraHop deployment inside the data center. So we're actually able to provide some security and detail towards the edge, even though we're only extracting the data from the actual data center connection, not the physical connection, not the wireless connection here. Cool. So what does that look like? So when we see that Radius authentication packet, we're extracting things like the username here. This is just a sample one. But we're able to see that username and what device they're authenticating from and when they've given authentication to. So that's what we're pulling on. Some caveats on this is it has to be Wi-Fi Enterprise 8021X. You have to have the AAA accounting because that's what allows this packet to go back and forth. So with the accounting, it's essentially almost like a log. And so we parse that and allows us to be able to extract that detail and then associate it with your laptop, your phone, whatever it may be. And then you have to have WPA Enterprise Mode. It should work on WPA 1, 2, and 3. There's an optional bundle in the forums that your SE can get that actually has some really cool records associated with AAA that allow you to search for that username. So let me kind of walk you through some use cases on this. So you can use it to see like cell phones authenticating. We couldn't really see that data before. It's not something that was pertinent to us because the cell phone is going to connect via Wi-Fi. So devices you don't have visibility into. Potential contact tracing to see who has been in the office, who's authenticated. You can integrate it into CMDBs and other systems to track user data and interactions, right? It's just another no agent way to be able to get this data, and the uplift is very, very low maintenance. So what it looks like in ExtraHop here is in the users field. Like I've extracted these users most likely from CIFS, and this is usually from CIFS or NFS traffic, sometimes LDAP Kerberos. We can track those users. But now the users field here is actually going to show up if it's a Wi-Fi login as well. In this case, in my lab, I don't have AAA set up because I don't have a Radius server. But if you had this and it was AAA, you'd actually be able to search for this username up here and look at the records of that particular transaction and see the AAA response. So that's only if you have, sorry if I'm clicking around a lot, only if you have the AAA accounting set up, which we have to extract that. So if you have the AAA accounting set up, we're going to use, and then you have this bundle installed, you can actually extract and search for that username. So the reason I'm telling you all this is I think there's a lot of potential if some customers start to use this or get value out of it for us to really start to build some really cool user metrics from a number of different things. So I think this was kind of put into 8.1 to kind of see organically what people could potentially do with it. So if you're running a Radius server, 802.1x and WPA, which is a lot of Wi-Fi out there, and then you can just start getting this data, right? You can just start using it as long as you have the AAA accounting set up. And that way you can start to see if this is valuable or not. And I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And again, there's that optional bundle that's our internal forums. Reach out to your SE and he can get you access to that and we can help you set that up so that we can start to ensure that you're getting the right data. But there are lots of potential here to be able to track Wi-Fi users, search for Wi-Fi users as they make those Radius authentications via the AAA protocol. Thanks guys, appreciate it.